Hey guys, HDvee here, and welcome to a brand new video. Today, we've got a ton of new leaks to go over for Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. New information on the new upcoming Paradoz forms that we're going to be seeing in the Generation 9 games. Also, a lot of new information on the new egg hatching mechanic as well for Scarlet and Violet. Plenty of stuff to go over. If you're excited for the video though, make sure to drop a like down below. Leave a comment with your thoughts on all of the latest leaks. Subscribe if you're brand new. Ring the notification bell. With all of that out of the way though, let's get into the video, and I really hope that you enjoy. So, starting things off, these are all of the latest leaks for Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. So we're starting things off with the new breeding mechanic. So, if you weren't aware, in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, apparently the daycare is no longer going to be a thing. And instead, we're getting some sort of new mechanic for breeding Pokemon. Don't know how that's going to affect competitive Pokemon as well as IVs, EVs, everything like that, natures. I guess how the Pokeball is as well that they're stored in, because obviously you can breed that down too. Abilities, stuff like that. I don't think that breeding really needed anything to be changed. I thought it worked perfectly fine. Maybe this new way is easier, maybe it's better. I don't know if it's going to stop us from being able to shiny hunt Pokemon through breeding as we could do with the Masuda method before. No idea, but either way, this is the new information on it. So, new breeding mechanics. You get eggs in the new Pokemon Picnic. So, Pokemon Picnic is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's new kind of Pokemon camp. It's just where you can like play with your Pokemon, stuff like that. We don't know exactly how it works. So, yeah, instead of breeding, you actually get eggs through Pokemon Picnic in these games. For hatching eggs, incubators are here. So, we actually have incubators like we do in Pokemon Go. And I don't know if you have to store these eggs in an incubator and then they are hatched. No idea. Absolutely no idea. Again, I don't think it needed to be changed, but this new method could be really cool. You put the eggs in the incubators and wait. I don't really think that necessarily needed a bullet point. I think that was just kind of a little bit obvious, but yeah, you have to put the eggs in the incubators just like you do in Pokemon Go, and then wait. And walking in-game may make hatching eggs faster. So this isn't like confirmed or anything like that. That's just a theory that whilst you're like walking, running, no cycling because the bike's not in this game, but I guess riding on like Rhydon and stuff, will actually hatch eggs faster. Or they could just hatch in the incubator whilst you're off the game. That would be a pretty cool thing if the Pokemon like hatched out the eggs whilst you weren't even on the game, because obviously they are like in real time and stuff like that. So yeah, that would be a really cool mechanic. But I think they could have just added that to the normal breeding that we already have. Also, the leaker said that hatching an egg in an incubator may take 1 to 2 hours. So that's probably depending on what Pokemon it is. Like obviously pseudo legendary Pokemon take a lot longer to hatch than like a Magikarp and stuff. But yeah, the leaker said that hatching an egg in an incubator may take 1 to 2 hours. Note that we think this is very unlikely. Maybe that's the time while being completely standstill, or there's a way to upgrade the incubators. So yeah, I don't think it's literally going to take 2 hours to hatch a Pokemon egg. I personally think that's just going to be whilst you're not playing. Like if, I don't know, you're playing Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and you put an egg in an incubator and then you turn the game off and you have to go do something, and then 2 hours later you come back. You'll come back to the egg hatching. I think that's what it means. I don't think you literally have to run around for 2 hours to hatch one egg, because that would just be the worst kind of addition to the Pokemon games. I think that's more or less just if you're not playing. I think what potentially will happen is the Pokemon eggs will hatch normally if you're like running around and stuff like that, but if you're not playing the game, that's when the incubator kind of like kicks in or something like that. I think that would be a really good improvement to the games. I think they should have kept breeding the way it was and then added these incubators when you're not playing, and then you could have like 6 Pokemon in like 6 different incubators, and then they would hatch whilst you're not playing, then you could come back and potentially get like a shiny and stuff like that. But it's just a way of hatching eggs without you having to do anything. So I think that would have been a really cool quality of life update, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Also, please note that the last point about walking to make egg hatching faster is speculation. The only thing the leaker has explicitly said is that it takes 1 to 2 hours to hatch an egg. I think they also said that it's easier for people that are busy as well. So the fact that the leaker said that, you know, this new breeding, or not breeding, or this new egg mechanic is for people that are busy, that wouldn't mean that hatching eggs takes 1 to 2 hours. I think by busy, they mean that people that can't play all the time. So yeah, I think it is literally just going to be that they hatch whilst you're not even on the game, and the incubators make them hatch, and it takes 1 to 2 hours to hatch an egg or something like that. Maybe there's better incubators you can get. Maybe you can buy incubators and stuff, not with like real money, obviously with like Pokemon $Pokédollars and stuff. But yeah, I think that would be a really cool improvement to the games. But I think that's what it means, because literally the leaker said it's better for people that are busy. So there's no way one egg would take 2 hours to hatch. If a person is busy, that wouldn't make things better. But that's all the new stuff we have on Pokemon breeding and eggs and everything like that. Again, I'm still on the fence about it because I don't think there was anything wrong with breeding in the first place. But I do like the incubator idea. I like the fact that it's probably going to be that they hatch whilst you're not playing the game. It's just what happens when you are playing the game. Do they just hatch normally and like with so many steps? You know, does Magma Armor still work? Flame Body still work? Does all that still work to like kind of half the time? I just kind of want to know how IVs are going to work and abilities, how they're going to get passed down, egg moves, stuff like that, because that's a massive part of competitive. And so if they take that out of the game, then obviously it's going to not be great. As well as that, shiny hunting as well. Masuda method was just a nice way to be able to kind of get any Pokemon as a shiny that is breedable. And obviously now if you can't get shinies through this new method, it is going to be a little bit of a buzzkill, but either way, that's the egg hatching mechanic. Next up, we're going to go over the Paradox Pokemon. So these aren't confirmed, but these are likely. So potential Paradox Pokemon's typings based on old leakers' hints. Obviously, they're talking about Riddler-Cooler. They just don't name him for whatever reason. All of this is speculation and hasn't been explicitly confirmed yet. So these are just based on what Riddler-Coo posted a while back for like types and stuff like that. Now we know with Paradox Pokemon that they keep one of their original dual types. So all of these Pokemon are dual types and they keep one of their original types. So like Delibird is keeping the ice type. One of the Volcaronas is keeping the fire type. One of them is keeping the bug type. Can't remember. I think Jigglypuff is keeping the fairy type or something like that, or the normal type. Either way, they're all dual types and they lose one of their types. So, Ancient Paradox Volcarona, which is of course exclusive to Scarlet. Ancient forms of Scarlet, future forms of Violet. So, Ancient Paradox Volcarona is likely to be bug fighting, which is an interesting typing for a Volcarona, but I'd still like to see it. The future Paradox Volcarona, though, is Poison Fire, which I think is a pretty cool typing. I like it. I mean, if it doesn't have Levitate, it's not going to appreciate an Earthquake. But some pretty cool typings for the Paradox Volcaronas. Next up, we have Paradox Delibird, which is going to be Ice Water, apparently. And again, this isn't confirmed. This is just potentially what it's going to be. But yeah, Paradox Delibird being Ice Water, quite interesting. We do already have an Ice Water type in like Lapras and stuff like that. But yeah, Delibird, Ice Water is not something I would pair that with. I thought it would be like Ice, maybe Steel or something like that because it's futuristic. But either way, Ice Water apparently for Paradox Delibird. And then, of course, another Pokemon getting 2 new Paradox forms is the Donphan. And obviously, they're getting one in Scarlet, one in Violet. Now, Donphan is just a ground type. So it's got to gain dual typing. And apparently, in Pokemon Scarlet, Paradox Donphan is going to be ground electric, which is a pretty cool typing. I do like that. Donphan, I think that's a really cool typing for Donphan because obviously Donphan kind of curls up in a not a ball, but like in the kind of, I don't know what it's called, but it like curls up and then just like speeds through. It just reminds me of the minigame from Pokemon Stadium. And it could be something to do with that. Maybe it's just like rolling all over the place, and that's why it's got the electric typing because it's like really fast or something. But then the other Paradox Donphan is apparently going to be ground fighting. I don't really know how that works. I don't really picture Donphan as a fighting type at all. But either way, maybe, I don't know. I can't see it like growing limbs and stuff like hands and everything. But either way, we'll have to wait and see what happens there. And then Paradox Wailuse, which again has not confirmed to be Paradox Wailuse. It is either Paradox Wailuse or it is Paradox Hydreigon. We're not 100% sure which one it is. We just know it's one of them. And it's going to be Dark Flying. So it loses the Dragon type and actually becomes Dark Flying. I like the typing though for Wailuse and Hydreigon being Dark Flying, I should say. Obviously they were originally based on like tanks and stuff, so I thought it could have been like Dark Steel originally, and they could have that like tank kind of design back, but it looks like they're going to be Dark Flying. And note that we're not completely sure which is which for Donphan and Volcarona. So basically here they're saying that I think Volcarona or Donphan could be, I don't even know, like it's not really explained too well. I think what they mean is that Volcarona could be bug electric, or Donphan could be ground electric, and then the other Volcarona could be poison fighting or poison fire, and then Donphan could be like ground fire. So I'm not sure. It's not really explained too well. But Paradox Gallade, I'm not really sure what this Paradox form is either, because Curly has been thrown around, Gardevoir's been thrown around, and now Gallade's been thrown around. But apparently Paradox Gallade is going to be fairy fighting. It's also based on an archer as well, so it's losing the psychic type and it's gaining the fairy type. But yeah, fairy fighting I really like for Gallade. I'm not sure if we've had a fairy fighting before. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's hard to think of all the Pokemon straight away. But yeah, fairy fighting, a Pokemon that, a typing that I'd actually really like for Gallade. I think that could be really cool. Because obviously it's apparently a mixture of like Gallade and Gardevoir. And so fairy fighting, I think, really complement each other and stuff, and I think that would be a really cool typing for it. And also Paradox Misdreavus as well, Ghost Fairy, really like that typing for Misdreavus. And of course, none of these Pokemon evolve. Like, there isn't a Paradox Phanpy, there isn't a Paradox Larvesta, there's not a Paradox Mismagius or Ralts or Curlier or Gardevoir or anything like that. And then as well as that, also remember that instead of Zweilous, it could be Hydreigon, we don't know yet. And the electric typing makes more sense for future Donphan. Just reminders, we already told both things before. So again, this isn't confirmed, it's just likely from what Riddler-Q said previously on his tweets and stuff. And also, will the stats remain the same? No, they are completely different and much higher. So yeah, Paradox Pokemon are going to have higher stats, because obviously because they can't evolve and stuff, and you've got like a Jigglypuff, is going to get destroyed. So that's why Jigglypuff's going to have higher stats. But also, does that mean that like Pokemon like Hydreigon are going to be busted because they've already got higher stats because they're a pseudo-legendary? And so the fact that they're even higher now, isn't that not going to be like a little bit too broken? I'm not too sure. Either way though, that's all of the new information about Paradox forms, new gameplay mechanics, everything like that. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please do consider hitting the like button down below. Make sure to leave a comment with your thoughts on everything. Which Paradox form is your favorite so far? Also, what do you think about the new breeding mechanics? All that stuff, let me know. Subscribe if you're brand new, ring the notification bell. It's everything from me though. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and until next time, peace.